left of Tourmaline, it is Clem, and in the top right we have Rebellion Scarlett. Shopify Rebellion, of course. Scarlett playing a Zerg. I haven't seen many of her games recently, I have to say. So I'm always interested though. Brings a very kind of unique, crisp playstyle, very fresh at times, very powerful at times. Been a professional gamer since basically the start of Wings of Liberty, so she's been playing for way longer than Clem at a professional level, but Clem has definitely peaked higher than Scarlett did. Even though she won, I want to say, several championships, it's not on the scale of Clem. Alright, Clem seems to be going for a 1 Rex expand here, pretty standard opening. We'll see what unit he wants to make with this, or if he follows this up with a fast gas. On the other side, it's also a pretty standard opening here. Scarlett has been somewhat a devout, I want to say, to the, how do you say, walling hatches. We've seen that before, but not really in this matchup. It's been more a ZVZ approach and a ZVP approach, not really in ZVT. I haven't seen that yet. And that's been like, I want to say it's been a year or so. That was when walling in Brood War kind of fell off a little bit. Like the Super Turtley style, which Lava and stuff did kind of popularize there, so. But I want to say she would be someone to go for something crazy like that, but she's just gonna go for a regular third base, it seems. Oh, is she gonna go for the forward base? That's interesting. So this might be something aggressive. Clem is gonna see this. And one issue with this is you kind of... Why you usually don't see stuff like this is, first of all, it's easier to push for the Terran player, of course. It also signals to the player, to the Terran, Clem in this case, that she wants to do something aggressive. Or at least, yeah, well, yes, she wants to do something aggressive. So it's kind of a big tell, like, hey, are you gonna play a macro game, play a defensive reactive game? Well, this doesn't look like it. If she takes the space, she needs to be aggressive out on the map, even if she doesn't do an all-in herself. She needs to basically keep the map control. And one thing why you don't really see this so often, so you have these side bases, right? And now this forward base is kind of pushable. Also, if you walk down with the queens to this position, you're completely exposed from 2 angles into your main base. Which on regular thirds don't happen that much. Clem is trying to get the creep gem, but doesn't get it, unfortunately. Queen movement is pretty solid here, I want to say. But this one might be a tiny bit out of position here. Nah, it's gonna be enough, though, to push the creeper back, the Reaper back there. Right, Hellions coming through. We've got some Hellion Banshee 3cc here on 1 gas. Second gas is just finished up in the natural. Started mining here right now. We still have the Reaper kind of roaming here, still trying to intercept anything he can. It's just kind of monitoring what kind of units are being produced, what stuff is coming out of Scarlett here. And ideally he wants to see this. And oh my god, he's gonna catch this? I can't believe it. So he will catch 1 drone. That's better than I thought, honestly. And you can swoop in from the other side right now. You've got everything here defending in the natural. Can he get 1 more drone? Yeah, he's gonna certainly get 1 more drone, but the Hellions need to run into the third base. Actually, the defense is here in time here for Scarlett, so now the Hellions finally move. If you would have moved them in at the same time, this was completely exposed. He could have probably killed 4 drones additionally to what he already killed. 3 drones is quite nice. It's gonna be a Roach Warren. We do see the lair coming in, and now you will see why you don't really take the space as the forward base here for Zerg. That's the third, because this position is harassable by the Banshee. He can just move around, shoot from here over the top, and the queens are gonna have a very tough time. Then in the meantime he can run in with the Hellions. If you lose them, though, to a Lynx around, that might be very stupid. So he gets 1 kill with the Banshee here. He needs to get out. The Hellions are gonna get killed off here. Boom, there we go. Banshee's still in action, but it's gonna get chased by the queens, and we did see a bunch of links. I said she needs to play this with map control, so she made a huge swell of links that eats, of course, into the drone explosion, into the drone counts. Oh my god. The spore is not in time, so we lose 2 additional drones here for Scarlett. It's been a bleeding fest, I want to say. If she doesn't lose any drones with this looks completely different, but as of this right now, she lost about, what, 6 drones here? She just some light harassment. She did kill a bunch of the Hellions though, so this kind of could prompt her to try to push forward. And honestly, this map isn't that big now that I see this. Like, if you take this forward base, you can creep through the map very fast, so you can kind of fight off Banshees as a defense anchor. And yeah, Clem's like, alright, damn, I need tanks. Starting the first tank up. I want to say it's the first. Now he already has 1 produced, but starts the tank production here really into overdrive. We see the first few queens here. There's an overseer, so Banshees are going to have a tough time. They kind of need a mass repair and something blocking for them. Then Scarlett has a potential aggression point ready here. This looks more like an all-in, but she is going into a 4th base. She has delay. She's actually putting up the evolution chambers, so she's just kind of taking aggressively the map control right now. She's gonna make a contain, and Clem is scanning this, and he sees a drone pop. If he saw that, actually, if he looked at that in that moment and he saw the drone pop, he knows this is not an all-in. He knows that he can kind of sell the bunkers. This army's not gonna grow in the next 5 minutes. No, I guess not 5 minutes. Not really a lot in the next 2 minutes. This is more like a aggressive stance, a forward position. She's kind of starting a contain. She's starting a creep infestation to go from the enemy base to her own. And she's gonna manifest the map control with this. Oh, losing Ravagers is not good though. You kind of need everything you have in the front line guarding against the enemy push. Because if you lose this now, it is an investment which did not pay off yet. She loses all the creep now, which she had here forward, and she loses the map vision. She gave up the position because of the 2 Banshees. Now she has the double geysers here, needs to take those. She's going to infestation pit, these upgrades. Ideally, once you lose the position in the front, you want to have those about to finish up. Now Clem is like, alright, we kind of survived that scary moment. That was actually not an all-in, so we can go into the armory, we can go into the 2-2, but it is already late, right? So he kind of invested into these bunkers, into these tanks, which are not really doing anything for him right now. So his 4th command set is delayed, the 2nd factory is delayed. He needs to kind of do a tank push, and there's a big opportunity because there's no bailing nest yet. So if he can kind of go across the map and find a good position for his tanks, that would be what he was looking for. He's going into drilling claws now, going into the marauder concussives, going into +2 only. So he's kind of starved for money because his 3rd command set was delayed so much and he couldn't land that one. Poor Marines there. Well, he immediately throws down a 5th actually. But yeah, I guess why is he not starting the armor though? Kind of want to have that armor running here as well. Maybe a little bit of a mistake. Didn't have the money at the time when he clicked it. Oh, there we go. Forward push. A nice fungal on top of all of the medivacs. Unfortunately, the bile and combination did not connect. And now, well, this position is not creeped up yet, so that's a big issue. We see there's not much vision for Scarlett around here as well. I guess she has the vision. And she's coming from top here. Can she break these tanks? If she can, that's all she needs to do, kind of, because the Marines can't really fire over the ravine, but maybe this Marine force is a little bit too much. Very nice fungal. Oh, some nice bites to connect as well. But maybe this army is a little bit too weak here from Scarlett. Ravager is not that beefy. And even though this Bioforce is grossly overstimmed, she will lose this base. She has a backup base, so she's got to go there. With the drones evacuating, not really losing that economy, just relocating. Should probably lose that queen over there. It's just barely gonna get shut down. And now we have baneling speed finally come in, but so little banelings. It's not that many, and they come in single file. That's not how you want to have it happen here. They will tank a lot of damage though for the queens and ravagers to try to pull through, but it seems like the answer is no. Clem's army might just a tiny bit too strong here. And he's about to rip through the infrastructure at this point. What do I mean? Well, he killed some queens, right? That's the infrastructure for Zerg. So all of the lava production is going to be stifled here. The reinforcements are going to have a tough time to come in. We do see one extra infestor fungal here coming in. Fungal is ready. Fungal now! She waits for the perfect moment. Infestor does not want to get blown up by the Widow Mine. Throwing the fungal now. A second fungal. Unfortunately, the chain did not really happen, so not the full damage did. It got released from the fungals. And the Lynx were fighting off cooldown or on cooldown Widow Mines, which weren't able to fire. So, unfortunately, this army, it does not seem to get broken. She could have, like, one mind drag sometimes is all you need. One correct mind drag. Unfortunately, a Ravager got shot by the mine here. One Roach does get exploded as well, and the reinforcements for Scarlett were just not enough here. Very well done by Clem. Very well done. Very interesting approach, I want to say. Kind of cool. If she doesn't lose the 6 drones, she's about 60 drones. Maybe the contain comes a little bit faster, and she actually can deal a little bit of damage, like break the wall or something. Like, there were about 2 tanks when she hit. If there's only 1 tank, maybe she can break down the wall. If she doesn't lose the drones, of course. This is kind of designed to play against the style that Clem did display, where he basically went up into 3 cc's on 1 gas and then goes into the 2nd gas at the natural and goes Hellion Banshee with this, right? So this is kind of designed to play against that style. Very interesting approach, I want to say, from Scarlett here again. Unfortunately, did not work out, but this looks very powerful, right? You kind of take a position in front of your opponent, and you cannot do this on this map, by the way. As you can see already, there's the natural, there's the 3rd base, there's a ramp. You cannot do this here. You need even ground. If you take this position, it doesn't make any sense. That was a kind of a map-specific thing, which we saw there, and it only works on maps where there's like a 3rd base that goes in a direct path to your opponent. Very cool to see something like this though. Map-specific strategies look extremely powerful there. And honestly, against most Terrans, I think this is a completely different game, which we saw there. There's no big counter push, and she kind of can pick apart at the map and pick apart at the opponent. Very cool to see though. I want to see more of this style. Kind of makes me want to play some Zerg again, you know. It's like a big lurker contain without the lurkers. You use Ravagers for that, and Queens. And then, of course, later on Banes 1-1, and I wonder what the follow-up would be, if it's gonna be Hydras or Mutas. There's like, even though it sounds very weird, that would be an opportunity for late Mutas, a fast Hive and Greater Spire, for example. There's a lot of forks in the road for that build. It's kind of cool to see, really. Oh, this is interesting. So, see this? She takes the drones off gas earlier, and she only mines with 1 on gas. So she's gonna boost her mineral income a little bit, but will be slightly later to the speed, of course, for the link speed. So gas is gonna accumulate now. Yep, there she got it, and now she could take starter speed. Or she doesn't and goes into a fast lair, for example. She actually just pulled out of gas, so she just takes the gas and waits for a moment. Now she's on speed. There's 2 Reapers. This game is not like a Reaper or Lane or anything, it's just 2 Reapers. So Clem is gonna try to at least get the creep tumor, deny the creep a little bit, and it's a statement basically. The last map, all of the units that Clem made for harassment and map control, they kind of got shut down. The Hellions, the Banshees, and the Reaper. So now he's like, alright, I'm gonna invest a little bit more into early map control, and he takes that map by force basically with the double Reaper here. And there we go, so he's gonna go now for the snipe attempt there. Unfortunately a little bit mismicro, that one Reaper should have been shooting 2 times more and probably killed that tumor, but unfortunately for some reason he cancelled the shots before they actually did shoot out. And Scarlett is pushing a little bit too far, I want to say, with the queens there walking off creep for quite a while. They're already gonna try to go into the direction of the third. She wants to inject that, of course, but she cannot lose any of the queens here to the Reapers. This is like a funny thing that can sometimes happen where you lose queens to Reapers, because Reapers are actually pretty good at fighting queens. And well, she does lose the first drone. Link speed, that delay kind of coming in right now here. Just 2 seconds earlier on the link speed might have had a big difference there. Just that timing. But she manages to push. Oh my god, that queen kind of got blocked by the freaking thing, and then tumor. That was so stupid to see. What an interaction. Sometimes, you know, when you see this game and you see units behave like that, you think of StarCraft Blood War and Goliath and Dragoons goofing around. And then you know this is actually really a StarCraft game and not just another RTS. Alright, so third base is done here. Hope till it's gonna lift over. Clem's map control is gone. He has no tanks back at home. He has a small marine force, but he has no wall yet. Needs to finish that one off. He's gonna probably place a couple more supply depots here. He's gonna get one more. There we go. And he's gonna be a little bit, well, bold, just landing the command center. Now he does have the Medivacs though, so it's gonna be tough to break that position anyway. Scarlett is just gonna let him have it. She has a bunch of queens. He should be fine against the double draw. Would you rather get... That's a strange question there, the MW. Would you rather get dropped by Clem or Nidus by Scarlett? Dropped by Clem. Because then I know it's already over. And Nidus, if I see it in the correct moment, I could probably still do something. 15 drones! Alright, Scarlett, 15 drones. He's gotta go up to 80. Is that a bit much, ladies and gentlemen? She lost the first queen already. The links are gonna bleed out. She just used all of the lava to build 15 drones, remember? So now she needs to pull off the queen. She's exposing herself on the other bases. Needs to... Well, she's gonna lose some drones now because she made 15, so she still has 75. Oh my god, so many workers. Now finally we see some injects coming through here and some link production going on. Hello Mr. Gling, good to see you as well. Oh, she ain't even gonna Nidus. No, she's not gonna Nidus. This is an infestation, but it's gonna be Hive probably. But she used some infestors, so I want to say the ultimate goal would be a ultraless composition with this. Baneling, Ultra, Ling. With infestors. Since there's no biles this time, she's still gonna go with the infestors. Did she make the baneling nest though? I don't think we have a baneling nest. This is a Ling infestor right now. It's not gonna work against a Clem with Medivacs, tanks and marines. Combat shields about to finish up. 1-1 is done. The 1-1 is still a little bit off here for Scarlett, and if this timing hits correctly in the next 15 seconds, well, it's gonna be a tough fight here. She kind of needs to hold out. I probably would give up the base, relocate to this position here, if need be, just to let those upgrades finish. But seems like this Ling flood is gonna be at least upgraded enough. She kind of wants to have the +1 though as well before she's gonna fight here. There's no Banes with this. She's gonna go Ling Infester. Can this work? +1 is not done yet. Unfortunately, the pickup happens. No follow-up fungal here to keep the Marines in place. The tank is also gonna get picked up. So actually, no big losses here. No, actually, not too many on the side for Scarlett as well. What an interesting approach. Immediately going into 2-2. Okay, I like that. She has the macro hatch, which also makes sense because she's playing a Ling composition. But this is only Lings. Ling and Faster. There's the Ultralisk. So she's kind of using all the gas for Fungals and Ultras. And no Banes. And upgrades, basically. So it's a fast upgrade style. We see already the Adrenal as well come through. A fast upgrade style with no real gas-intensive units until the actual tech hits with tier 3 on the Ultralisk. But I mean, now she's kind of exposing herself. She's gonna go in with the Lings. I don't agree with this. There's a bunch of Helvets even at home. She's gonna do a lot of damage, but look at that. We have a big army here over on the right side as well. A big army already canceled the base on the left. Is gonna kill the base here on the bottom left side. I feel like Fungals are not gonna do the trick. There's a couple medevacs. Maybe she's gonna kill a few units. Fungal still does damage. You don't want to underestimate that, but I mean, healing is still pretty good from medevacs, and as you can see here, this base is gonna die. This base might survive. Oh, the Widow Mines are just gonna be enough to clear this, and the tanks are focused fired on top of the base, and the hatchery falls. This was a nice attack here for Scarlett. She cleared most of that mineral line with the Lings, but she lost so many Lings in that moment. And I feel like it was not the perfect time here to set up such a big counterattack for Scarlett. She loses 2 of her bases, 2 of the production facilities, which is crucial, right? She's going Lings. She needs lava. Look at that. She has like 600 minerals right now, so finally she starts up another Ultras. But the Ultras, they still need their upgrades. They're not gonna be really beefy. They're gonna be killable by Marines, and this force is already knocking at the front door. I feel like the timing is just a little bit too bad here for Scarlett. She did not retake the base in the right as well. A Fungal is gonna connect, but not before 2 of the other Infestors do die here. And GG is gonna be called just before the Ultralisks do spawn. Well played by Clem. Is gonna take that serious. What a Fungal, yeah, but unfortunately it didn't work out.